Cam? Claire?
Coming!
Sorry. We're running a bit late.
Okay. How's the day? How's the pen working out?
Well, I wasn't sure at first, but it seemed to be helping. I feel okay. You know, more confident.
The tranquilizers are just a temporary thing. If you're feeling... If you want to talk about anything, oh, you know where I am.
Thanks. I do feel better, though. I suppose it's time to pull myself together, you know, and try and get back to normal. Get involved.
Yeah, just take it easy.
Morning, campers.
So, you okay? How are the kids?
Fine. Claire's been asking about you.
What have you said?
Not a lot.
Perhaps I should talk to her today.
No. No, I'd rather it came from me. I don't want her getting confused.
What, with my side of the story?
You really wanted to hear that? Kids, come on, Mum's here.
Let's get going, shall we? Shopping, then lunch. How does that sound?
Bye, Dad!
Come on, Claire.
Steve?
Don't tell me. He's here to see me.
Who is he?
Frank Callahan. You might find him listed under my nemesis.
No, there he is. Frank Callahan, 9:15. You know he's been here since surgery opened.
Yeah, well, I expect he likes the ambiance.
Do I take it he's not your favourite customer, then?
Not exactly, but I seem to be his favourite doctor.
Right, who's next?
Mr. Andrew. He's a new patient. Looks a little bit nervous. It's probably something below the waist. And for you to enjoy.
Mr. Andrew, would you like to come through? Take a seat.
Oh, thank you, Dr.
Mistry. Right. What can I do you for?
Well, actually, it's a little embarrassing. I don't often come to the doctors, and I don't even know if I'm in the right place for sexual matters.
Right. You've been having problems in that department?
Yes.
Well, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Impotence is a far more common problem than most people think. This is your first time with us.
Well...
Any other medical problems? Operations?
No, I don't think so, no.
Taking any medication on a regular basis?
No, nothing.
Right, so when were you last able to perform?
About an hour and a half ago.
I'm sorry.
Well, I may be a bit off. I wasn't wearing my watch.
I'm sorry, so you're saying you had sex this morning?
Yes, twice. You see, that's the problem. It's not me, it's my wife.
So, what can I do for you, Mr. Callahan?
You can call me Frank, you know.
So, what's the problem?
I'm fine. No problem at all. Why does there always have to be a problem?
Well, it just seems to be normal practice around here. Do you know how many times you've been to see me this month?
Oh, I don't know, a couple.
I'll make it 6.
You sure?
Oh, no, tell a lie, 5. So, by my reckoning, today's 6. Quite confusing, isn't it? So, do you want to tell me anything? Anything on your mind? Because if there is, I'm all ears.
Well, that's it. You see, that's exactly it. I feel I can kind of just talk to you. Most people, you know, they talk to you, but you can tell they're not really interested. It's like, yeah, right, Frank, OK. But you're different. You're really, what's the word? Empathic. Yeah, you're the most empathic person I know.
Well, that's my job.
Oh, I know all that.
Well, I'm really pleased that you find me easy to talk to, but that's not really why I'm here. And in a perfect world, well, I'm sure there'd be time for a little chat, but I'm your GP, your doctor. The guy you go to when you're sick. And that's why I've passed you on to someone else's list.
But I don't want to see anyone else. I like seeing you. You're my doctor.
Well, I'm afraid that's part of the problem. It's just not possible.
Why don't we start from the beginning? This problem.
Well, that's just it. You see, it hasn't been a problem. We've been married 4 years, and this is confidential, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And my wife, Emma, she... well, I don't even know if this is the right word.
Try me.
I think she's a nymphomaniac.
Is it something I've done? You can be honest with me, really. Just tell me what I have to do.
You don't have to do anything. And it's nothing personal. But I'm your GP, and that's all.
OK. What if we went for a beer? Then we could talk about it. Then we'd just be two guys in a pub. How's that sound?
It sounds unprofessional. And that's why I'm transferring you to another doctor. Now, we've had 10 minutes on this. There are other patients waiting. I'm putting you on Dr. Thompson's list.
So that's it?
I think you better go.
OK. Well, maybe I'll see you around.
So you've been married for 3 years.
4 years.
For 4 years. And in that time you've been under pressure?
Well, don't get me wrong. You know, I'm not complaining. Or at least I wasn't. It's just that it's all getting a bit much, you know. And it's worse at weekends. 6 times a day. Doctor, I'm 46 years old.
And your wife?
She's 23. I know what you're thinking. Lucky man. But it's not like that. We met at work. All the men there, they all say, lucky man. But I don't want to sound trite, but I love her very much, and I really want to make her happy. She's a very passionate woman, you know. And I'm so much older than her. She says it doesn't matter, but you can't help wondering, worrying. Little things she says, you know, telling you off, flying off the handle. I want to please her, but this can't be normal, can it?
Well, normal can be hard to define.
5 times every day. So, I thought there may be some sort of treatment, you know, a pill.
What, for you or her?
Whichever you decide.
No, that's not how it works. What if I referred you to a sex therapist? For both of you. You could work things out together.
You're saying that I need therapy?
Well, don't worry, they won't ask you to talk about your mother. No, I honestly think that this is the best thing.
No way. I came here because I thought you would be able to do something, you know, something simple.
Well, have you talked to her?
No. It's very difficult. It's not the sort of thing you can just bring up, yeah? I mean, I'm finding it hard enough coming here and talking to you about it, but talking to a therapist once a week, no way.
All right, well, why don't you leave it with me? I'll have a word with one of my colleagues and see if there's anything else that I can do for you. But I want you to talk to your wife. If this is how you're feeling, then I really think that you have to talk about it. Okay?
I don't know.
Well, I do. Otherwise, no deal.
I'll do my best.
Hello, darling.
Hiya.
So, what are you going to do about it? Apart from pat him on the back?
He wanted me to give her some pills. I think he needs the rest.
You are joking.
If only. I suggested sex therapy. No dice.
So what are you going to do?
No idea. It's not really my area.
Really? I thought you were the resident expert in the trousers department.
No, that really is below the belt.
What's this?
Oh, nothing. Rana was just asking me about one of his patients.
Oh, not Mr. Andrew. I thought he looked like a dog who'd lost his bone. Well, luckily for you two, the doctor is in.
You did what? I don't want our personal life discussed by a bunch of underemployed medics during their lunch break.
Dr. Mistry assured me everything is completely confidential.
Well, let's find out, shall we?
Where are you going?
Where do you think? I'm going to have a word with this Dr. Mistry. Let's see how he responds to a woman's touch, shall we?
Now, I think it's clear what this case needs. A female perspective.
Is that right?
Absolutely. The problem with you men is that you have no understanding whatsoever of female sexuality.
And your Riverside's answer to Jermaine Greer.
It doesn't matter whether you're French or German or from the wrong end of the lick is Rana. Women are different. Now, if this Emma is demanding, then it is for a reason.
No, need more.
Love. Women have a different set of connections. It's never just sex for the sake of it. Now, if you just talk to this Emma, I'm sure you'll see what I mean. It's probably just her way of expressing herself.
Like Madonna.
Perhaps she needs to get into the groove.
Unlike a virgin.
It's just her way of showing her husband how much she loves him. It's a shame you boys can't get your minds out of the gutter long enough to see it. Hope that's cleared things up.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, Joe.
Hello, emergency services. Which service do you require?
Ambulance.
Oh, can I help? I need to see Dr. Mistry.
You're a bit early for afternoon surgery. What time should...
I haven't got a time. Is that him?
Excuse me?
Dr. Mistry?
Have we...
I'm Emma Andrew. I believe you've met my husband?
Oh, you're the...
Wife. I want to talk to you.
Well, you really need to make an appointment. But maybe I can fit you in.
Hello, Frank. Haven't seen you for a while.
Nearly 2 months.
That long? So what have you taken? 20?
28.
Hello, is that Dr. Rawlings? Yeah, I'm sorry to bother you. This is Dr. Jones from St. Phil's A&E. Yeah, I wonder if I could talk to you about a patient of ours.
You see, the thing is, I'm a very physical person. Tactile. You can understand that, can't you?
Of course.
I love Jeff. He's as simple as that. He's kind and he's funny and, well, he's just Jeff. He needs me and I need him. But I need something else as well. Sex. Like I said, physical. And I don't see why that should be an issue. Or any of your business.
What I said to Jeff and what I have to say to you is, have you thought about talking to someone? I can refer you to a therapist who can...
Can't you give him something? Something to pep him up a little? What about Viagra? That's all the rage these days, isn't it?
As I said, I can refer you to a sex therapist who will...
Oh, no. No chance. We'll get in there and suddenly we'll both discover we've got issues or something like that. You spoke to Jeff. Look, I know you're not allowed to tell me what he said. But there must be something I can do. You know, to encourage him.
Just popping out.
Where are you going?
Special case. Frank Callahan's in casualty. See you later.
Bye.
What about a bit of personal advice? Off the record?
I'm sorry, all I can recommend is that you talk about it.
But surely you must have an opinion. Or do I have to go private for that?
I've got this friend. He had a similar problem.
Oh, yeah. Let me guess. This friend is about your age, similar build. Am I getting warm?
Sexual mismatch. They just weren't compatible. When Jeff mentioned it, it was the first thing that came into my mind. You know, he was quite happy to make it a part of Sunday mornings. You know, papers, breakfast in bed.
A supplement?
Exactly. And she was more your Evening Standard type. And at first, it really didn't matter. But then it started to play on her mind, and she can't stop thinking about
sex.
And I'm afraid in the end they just couldn't stop arguing. Little things started to get out of control, and they ended up getting divorced. 2 children. It was on my couch for 6 weeks.
So, you're saying?
Think about counselling before this goes any further.
Look what I got.
Very nice.
It's a Ferrari. Marked to 16, 4.3 seconds.
Sounds expensive.
Well, Mum said I can have it.
Oh, what have we got here?
Meet Daisy, all bodily functions included.
Yeah, we'll have lots of fun cleaning up after her.
Why don't you go and play upstairs? Did you get any work done?
A little bit.
Oh, so you might have time for a coffee.
Kind of in the middle of things here.
Well, could you take a break? I'd like to talk to you.
What, and break the habit of the last 6 months?
Please, Phil.
I thought you'd gone back to work.
No, I phoned in sick. So how'd it go? Did you speak to Dr. Mistry? What did he say? Did you sort something out?
Not really.
But you discussed it with him?
He gave me some advice about his friend.
Well?
Believe me, darling, you don't want to know.
Hey, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
No, you're not. Come on, what did he say? What's all this about a friend?
So, how's the flat?
Oh, it's okay. Could do with a bit of cheering up, but when you're renting, you don't really want to spend the money on it.
I suppose so.
I've been thinking about seeing someone. Oh. No, that didn't come out right. I mean, us both. Marriage guidance. I just thought before all this goes too far, maybe if we could just talk about it, everything that's happened. I don't mean forget about it, but it would be a first step.
Towards?
You and me.
And that's what you want?
Oh, it's not just me. It's the kids. Claire doesn't understand, but Dan's asking questions.
No, I get it. Oh, think of the children, eh? You've gone off and had your little fling, and now you think you can just stroll back in here?
That's not what I meant.
Oh, come off it. I can't believe you've got the nerve to try and use them to make me feel guilty. Where were you? Where were you when I was cooking their dinner and picking them up from football? With Chris Rawlings. When I want to go back to work, it was always your job that came first, always your career.
We agreed about that a long time ago. I didn't force you to do anything. You wanted to look after them.
And nobody forced you to go and have an affair?
I made a mistake and I've admitted it. That's why I want us to try and get some counselling.
Counselling? I bet that's what you tell all the poor souls that wander into your surgery. Husband's had an affair. Oh, never mind. Here's a prescription for a few pills and a helpful leaflet. Make it all better.
That's unfair.
No. What's unfair is to use Danny and Claire. Getting onto your side by buying them a toy car and a new doll. And trying to use them to make me feel guilty.
Maybe I just miss them.
Well, maybe that's something you're going to have to get used to.
Dr. Rawlings, thanks for coming.
No problem. So what's the story?
Same as usual, only this time with a twist. You know Frank's one of our regulars, don't you?
Well, not really. He's only been seeing me a couple of months.
Lucky man. He's a bit of a legend around these parts. This is his 14th overdose this year. Always the same. Takes just enough to bring him above the treatment line, then calls for an ambulance. Only this time it's a bit different.
Are you sure? You've sent the bloods.
Are on their way. 28 tablets around about 1 o'clock, so he's going to need Parvolex. Problem is, he's refusing to take it. He won't see the psych. He only wants to see you.
Did he say why?
That I can't say. But you know the drill. Can't force the treatment on him, not without sectioning him. So I thought maybe you'd have a word with him. A bit of TLC from his favourite GP. Just to keep things simple, you know.
He hasn't said why he took them.
So, will you see him?
Have I got a choice?
So, how did it go?
Sorry?
No, with her, Mrs. Andrew. I saw her walking out. She looked a bit...
Oh, I gave her something to think about. Yeah, your advice was invaluable.
Hello again.
Where is he?
Mr. Andrew?
My wife came back in tears. In tears! Just what is your problem? No, don't speak. If I hear the sound of your voice, I might be tempted to do something I'll regret.
I'm sorry, but you're not ready.
Don't worry, I'm not staying. I just came to tell Dr. Mistry, assuming you're a real doctor and not some fake off the telly, that I'm going to sue you. I'm taking you and this practice to court. I'm going to get you closed down because you're a danger, filling people's heads with your little stories.
It's not what you think.
You don't know what I'm thinking. I'm not a violent man, Dr. Mistry, but at this very moment, I'm thinking of making you a special case.
I'm calling the police.
Don't bother. I'm going. I didn't lay a finger on him, and you're my witness. But you will be hearing from me.
I knew you'd come.
So what's all this about, Frank? Hmm? You think this changes things?
So you admit it?
Admit what?
That there's something to change? You're a mate, Steve. Only a mate would have taken time to come down here.
I'm here because it's my job to be here. Now, for the last time, Frank, I'm not your friend, I'm not your mate, I'm not even one of your drinking buddies, I'm just your GP.
I don't see why you couldn't just give me a chance.
A chance to do what? Do you think we're going to ride off into the sunset together like Butch and Sundance, hmm? Because it's not going to happen.
They died.
Who?
Butch and Sundance, they died.
Look, why did you do this, Frank? Do you want to die? Is that it? Hmm? Is that what you want? Do you know what happens when somebody dies? When they're just not there anymore, huh? You'd think people would be terribly upset, wouldn't you? They'd all be wringing their hands and asking themselves, could we have done something or said something to stop this happening? You know what?
What?
That's exactly what does happen. But after a while, it changes. You know, not immediately, but in a month or so, a whole day's gone by and they think to themselves, I haven't thought about this person once. You don't want to die, do you?
No.
Because you've been lucky this time. But if you carry on, it's not going to be so easy. Hmm? You might not be lucky next time.
So what are you saying?
Well, before you do this again, just have a little think to yourself. Ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, Frank?
So, come on. What on earth did you do to set that off?
I think he might have, you know, got the wrong end of the stick.
Well, in that case, you're lucky he didn't bring it with him. You must have said something.
I just told his wife about a friend of mine who had a similar problem, you know, the sex thing.
And what happened to him?
They got divorced.
You thought that was encouraging?
Well, I was trying to, you know, help.
Men, I tell you what, if there's anybody round here that needs help, it's you lot. Rana, I don't often get to say this, but engage brain, then open mouth. Works for me.
So what did you say to him? Bit of the old soft soap?
Something like that.
Dr. Mistry. Oh, Mistry. Thank you so much for what you said to my husband. It did the trick.
Great. All right, well, good luck.
Isn't that our resident nymphomaniac?
Oh, could be.
She looks remarkably happy for a woman whose marriage is on the rocks.
Well, let's just say maybe she was thrown a lifeline from the good ship Mistry.
Hang on a sec. 1 minute her husband's in here baying for your blood. The next you're snogging her outside in the car park. Now there's something going on. And the good ship Mistry will sail no further till I know what it is.
Psychology. You said it yourself. In fact, it was all your idea. Emma just couldn't see the big picture. It wasn't not enough sex that she missed, it was not enough sex with her husband. I just helped her to realise that. And once she thought about it seriously, well, the consequences, it all hit home and she realised what was at stake.
Yeah, but what about Jeff? He wasn't exactly your #1 fan.
Apparently, after our little discussion, he came home with a lot of excess energy, which got converted, if you know what I mean.
So everybody's satisfied?
Everybody's satisfied.
I'll tell you what, it's a good job you had that friend, the one who got divorced.
What friend?